Good morning, 10th standard. I'm sure you're happy to be in 10th standard this year and trying to go into your portion of studies. Uh, we have, as I told you last week, Merchant of Venice. You have done Act 3, Scene 1. Up to there, you have completed, and then you have completed two of the stories and two of the poems. And I gave you in my last class in last week I was giving you about the themes in Merchant of Venice. So I will just go briefly about the themes, and I would want to have a geo meet with you, but I have to be in the office, and only when I'm at home I can have the geo meet with you, and I'm trying to arrange one with you. And as soon as I have a time, I will have a geo meet with you so that I can explain to you whatever I'm sending the notes to you so that you know you learn it better. So when I look at, we have some characters in the uh, Merchant of Venice. We have Antonio, we have Bassanio, which you have already studied about, and then we have Shylock, we have Portia, we have Nerissa, Graciano, Jessica, and all these characters are there, and they're all important. So when we look at here, Lorenzo also is part of it, and Lancelot Gobbo and Lancelot. So we have some of these things here. So when we look at the themes in the play, we have friendship and loyalty. So when we look at the friendship and loyalty, we see between the two friends, Antonio and Bassanio, they are loyal to each other to the extent there when Bassanio comes to Antonio to seek help for finance to go and meet Portia. Antonio says, okay, you borrow money and I will stand guarantee and I will pay back the money. And he had to borrow money from Shylock. And we see to the extent of that, we will see in Act 4, where Antonio is about to lose his life and how Portia comes and saves him. So this is friendship and loyalty, one of the theme in uh, Merchant of Venice. Another theme that we see here is the love theme. When we look at here, love between Antonio and Bassanio, a love between Portia and Bassanio, love between Lorenzo and Jessica, and then there is love between Nerissa and Graciano. So we have this four couple coming up here, and these are the love theme uh, as portrayed by Shakespeare in this drama, Merchant of Venice. Now we go on to the theme of loneliness. So we see here in this character, we see Antonio. Shylock as well as Antonio, two central characters of the play, are lonely in different ways. Now, when we look at here, Shylock's loneliness is because he is Jew in Christian society and a stranger in Venice. Shylock has come to Venice to do his business, and his business is to lend money on high interest. So therefore, nobody likes him, and if nobody likes him, he seems to be a loneliness which is creeping in him, and therefore he does not like anybody, and he likes to stay alone. Whereas when we see here Antonio, he is serious throughout. We see in Act 1, Scene 1, he's serious. We see him in Act 1, Scene 2 and 3, and subsequent scenes, we see him a very serious man. So here he is lonely, but he says his loneliness is not because he has lost his ships or his ships are stuck up in the ocean, but he has other ventures to do. And therefore, we see him, he is a man full of loneliness. We see another theme is appearance and reality. Now here we see lottery of casket. Now you all are familiar, you have done that act in where we had the lottery scene and different characters, different suitors had come to take part in the lottery of the caskets. And we see here where Portia is, each time each suitor is coming, she's wishing that this should not be the man because she has got someone else in her mind, the portrait of Bassanio in her mind, the picture of Bassanio, and she is in love with him. And therefore, each suitor that comes, she In her heart, even though outwardly she says, if you win me, if you find my portrait in one of the caskets, I will definitely go for a marriage immediately. But in her heart, she is actually not interested in every suitor that is coming to him. And therefore, we see finally, we also see Prince of Morocco and Prince of Aragon coming up, and they also lose the game of the lottery of caskets. But we see Bassanio coming up, and we also see how the scene has been portrayed, where Bassanio comes along and then uh, Portia plays music for him so that he would be able to choose the right casket where her portrait is there. So we see here Bassanio believes in uh, reality. He does not believe in appearances. Outward appearance he does not believe. And therefore, another theme here is appearances and reality. Then there is love of money and wealth. Now, in this character, we see Shylock is fitting in fine. Okay. When we see him here, he is very crazy about the money. When we look at here, the love of money and wealth. Okay. He at one place he tells his daughter uh, Jessica, close all the windows, not to peep out, not to go out. He was scared that he's leaving her, but he was scared of his wealth. He had dreamt something that he thought he's going to have something serious is going to happen to him. And so here we see him when the daughter elopes with Lorenzo. uh, he is more worried about his wealth than about the daughter. Usually, if the daughter is eloping in such kind of situation, the father and the mother are mainly concerned about the family member, that is, their own son or daughter. But here, Shylock, instead of worrying about Jessica, he's cursing her, and he says she should die with the jewels that she has stolen. And we see another place where Jessica has, for a monkey, she has given out the ring that was given to Shylock by his own wife before his marriage. So, and when she spends about 80 ducats in one night, he is crazy for that. Why is she spending so much money? So he is in love with money rather than loving his own daughter, and therefore we see the cause of running of Jessica was different. She was not happy in her own home because the father was very strict. So when she looks at the situation in her home, and her father is always talking about money, and she was in love with Lorenzo, who happens to be a Christian, and she is a Jew. And therefore, when she runs off, and father is not happy, and he cries in the streets of Venice. So here we have love of uh, money and wealth. These are some of the themes. I've given you some more themes in my uh, passage that I had given you last week. I'm sure you must have written it in your own handwriting. Please write it out according to points. And if you have any problem, just ask me, send me a message, and then I will be able to deal with you. So when we look at here, let's go on with some characters, the important characters in the play. The first character that comes to my mind is Antonio, and he, as I told you, he is in a melancholy state. That is, he is always lonely, and he says it is the result of his spiritual loneliness and lack of emotional fulfillment, for he has neither loved nor married. Okay, he is a single person, bachelor. He is not married, and then uh, a kind of person who is always busy in his business. He's a kind of person who's always helping people. Where Shylock is giving money on high interest, its opposite of Shylock is Antonio. He is lending money without any interest. Sometimes he does not even take money from them, and therefore that's his generosity. That's the kind of liberality he has over his people, because he's a Christian and Shylock is a Jew. And therefore Christians and Shylock, they don't get along very well. And in fact, Shylock hates Antonio because Antonio a number of times has insulted him, abused him on the streets of Venice. In fact, he has spat also on him. And Every time when Shylock and Antonio meet, they are meeting in a very, as an enemy, meeting each other. And therefore, they hate each other. Shylock to the extent where he wants to take his life, so that if no more Antonio, he can have his business flourishing and he can give out money as much as he wants and extract money from the people and trouble them. So, this is the scenario we see him here. And the next is Bassanio. We call him as a young and handsome man. He also belongs to Venice, and so people living in Venice, they are known as Venetians. Okay, he's a Venetian and the dearest friend of Antonio. Every time he comes to Antonio, he's in heavily debt with Antonio. Antonio is always giving him money. He's never asking him back because he's his dear friend. He loves him from the bottom of his heart. So we see him, a true love coming up between Antonio and Bassanio. And Bassanio, we see him when he goes to Portia, and they are getting married. He comes to know about Bassanio, Antonio, to the extent that he's also willing to give his life for the sake of Antonio. That's the friendship. That's the character of Bassanio uh, when we look at him in terms of his friendship with Antonio. He's also deeply in love with the heiress of Belmont. Okay, Portia is the rich lady, and she is living in a big mansion in Belmont, and therefore the whole thing revolves around Bassanio, how he takes the money, how he goes to Belmont, how he takes part in the casket, how he wins Portia, and how he's going back to save his friend, how Portia comes along to save Bassanio's friend. She gives him a due respect because it is her husband's. Antonio is Bassanio's friend, and Bassanio is very dear to Portia. If Bassanio is dear to Portia, even Antonio is very dear to Portia because he is the friend of her husband. So we see here that Antonio and Bassanio are the two characters here. We come to the third character, and that character is Portia. So when we look at Portia here, she is a rich lady of Belmont and very intelligent, and she has a wit and wisdom which she uses along with her beauty. A very beautiful lady. She's the most intellectual character in the uh, Merchant of Venice, and she has taken an oath with her father. Her father had done a will for her, and he had prepared three caskets. And in those three caskets, one of the casket was holding the portrait of Portia. And therefore, her father did not want her to choose anybody who is not going to be very true to her. And therefore, he set this game of the lottery of casket. And therefore, each suitor that is coming to her, she wishes that he should not choose the right casket, and it happens according to her will. And we see here finally the Bassanio, whom she loves very dearly, and Bassanio also is in love with her, chooses the right casket, and then he marries her. We see her wit and wisdom and intelligence power when she goes to Venice to save Antonio in the disguise of uh, a clerk, in the disguise of a lawyer, and she comes as a Dr. Bellario and then takes over the case of Antonio and uh, Shylock, and how she is able to trap Shylock, and Shylock had to leave immediately, and he was losing all his property at uh, the state of Venice, and therefore we see her wit. And then next character we have is Shylock. Shylock is a complex and dynamic character, and because he's a Jew by birth, he does not like Christians. That's the main characteristics we have in Shylock. And he is always a contrast of hatred and admiration. Okay. He hates Christians, in the sense that he hates um, the whole community of Christians, but the most he hates is Antonio, because Antonio is a barrier between his business and himself. If Antonio is living, his business is going to go down. So, therefore, he is very revengeful, and he hits him to the very end. We see him there where he says, when Bassanio goes to take money to go to Belmont, and he says, "You sign a deal, a bond." And so Antonio says, "I will sign the bond, but don't give me this money as a friend. Give me this money as an enemy." So we see there's a revenge between and Antonio and Shylock. And Shylock makes him sign a contract. In this, he says, "If you do not pay me money in 3 months' time, I will take a pound of flesh from near your heart." So, and Bassanio is not happy with the deal that Shylock wants Antonio to sign. Antonio says, "Don't worry, my ships will be coming and I will be able to pay the amount before 3 months are over." And so here the deal is signed. And Shylock was very happy how he was able to trap Antonio. So we see here the characteristics of Shylock is very revengeful, very selfish, money oriented, only thinks about the money and nothing else, hates Christians to the maximum, and therefore, this is what we see in Shylock. For the present, I will stick on. We have Nerissa, Graciano, Jessica, Lorenzo, and Lancelot Gobbo. That we will take up in the next period. Till then, you listen to my notes, copy it down, read through your beginning part of the characterization, the themes, and then make your own notes. And then we move on to Act 1, Scene 1, the next class. But before that, I will go over one poem. Okay, next class I will take a poem. So be ready for the poem. And then we go into another story. So this is how I'm going to go over this class this week. Take care. All the best. God bless you all.